Hello there, survivors. Welcome back to another video on ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I'll be visiting some of the bases built on my community server on the island because we're doing a new wipe and a fresh island with all my original island builds that I did on my private world soon. So it's the perfect time to look at all the beautiful creations that have been made. And if you're wondering how can I join this community server as well, all the information for that will be on my Discord, which is linked in the description below. And we're starting off right here with a recreation of the tech base that I designed on my own island world. This I made here on the community server so people could have a look at the base. But now, of course, with the map being wiped and me providing the original island map that I played on, we'll have the original build up there soon. But still, it was fun for people to at least already be able to visit the builds that they saw on my YouTube channel. But now, in the future, you'll be able to visit all of them. Well, the island ones at least. But that's definitely not all, because there's many more builds on this server. Hello there. That we'll be checking out today. And if you do like this video, don't forget to leave a like and maybe subscribe. And if you do want to join the cluster, feel free to. As I said, join the Discord for all the information. We have all the maps. We'll have a brand new island with all my original builds on it. We have Scorched Earth, the center, and also we've got Svartalfheim. And soon, of course, we'll be adding Aberration as soon as it drops. Well then, right here, we've got a very big base, which is actually one of the latest additions here to our island server, but you can see it wasted no time and effort to build something really cool. And I really like this design. Actually, it's a little bit more of a modern build design, which I very much appreciate, and we don't see that many of on the server. And it's also using the Klinger concrete building pack, which is quite cool, to be honest, especially for these more modern builds, as you can see. And yeah, it's just a really cool, unique looking design. Like, the shape is really cool. It reminds me a little bit of the shape that I had on the front of my ocean tech base on the center. But yeah, I've seen the original like inspiration for this base as well, and it always is really nice to see people working that way, because that's what I usually do, find like real buildings or buildings from like movies or TV shows that I like, and then try to bring those into ARK. So yeah, we can see a nice big building, but also a very good breeding pen here, a nice water pen with all these layers going into the ocean, and a big backyard as well for all their many breeding projects, I would assume, because I know they've got a couple things going on, and they seem to be well supplied here with plenty of different tames already for all sorts of things, no doubt. Look at these as well, the white hands. That's pretty cool. Looks like gloves. I think I should be able to get in here. There we go. There's even more hiding in here. Very cool looking base, but also just a very nice design, because you have so much space here. You could easily bring in some of your tames. This should lead back to the docks. Yep, there we go. So easy access as well. That's always nice. Is it not going to close anymore? Why did it open? Or is it just a very long delay on this? I don't know. But yeah. Oh, there's someone home. There is someone home. Let's check this layer. I've never been on this layer. Well, look at that. There's more tames here, ready and breeding by the looks of it. That's pretty cool. I never really visited any of the other layers, but I guess this is... Oh, there's this. This is their personal rooms. Look at this. This is so cool. They've got their own little rooms. Oh, these cosmetics are actually really nice. Damn, that looks really good. And then we got this one. I like this one, of course, a lot. This color is great. Matches with my little stripes as well. Yeah, this is cool. I've never really visited any other place. Oh, this is a window. I guess those are closed, but that's fine. We can still see out. Yeah, this is really cool. I like those flag designs as well. Keep forgetting that is an option. I guess that's just by painting them in those patterns with like uploading an image some way. That's a really nice design thing, which I guess is even possible without any mod, which is always good because, I mean, to be fair, with custom cosmetics, even unofficial, you can use quite a lot of decoration. Then, ooh, we got the gaming hall floor, I suppose. Look at this. Yeah, of course, the modded decorations do really help out a lot because you have so much more options. And this is a really cool base. Yeah, I like this place a lot. I love these modern designs. As you well know if you've watched any of my videos, because I do quite a few of them. It's actually funny because I personally usually like more medieval stuff originally. But then I did, I think, one of the aim frames and they did very well and I started doing more. But yeah, now I really also like a good modern design. And they can be very tricky because inherently I feel like they are sometimes, the shapes are a lot more simple. So it's more tricky usually to make them look good in detail. But this place definitely does look very good in detail. And then we have a nice perimeter fence here as well. This is definitely using a custom cosmetic for these fences, but they work very, very well. And yeah, normally I'm not a fan of a big wall around your base, but making it these fences, it looks a lot more natural. And then these nice pillars, it looks like it would actually be a real thing like this, you know. Yeah, and I like that. Yeah, this is a great base. And then we get to this lovely little lake near the red obelisk with another one of these entries for the build competition that we did. A lovely little fishing spot out here with this nice little retreat out on the lake. Definitely very cool looking, a very nice place to visit. This is the little pond, I guess. It will take you over to the little retreat from the dock right here. And then it belongs to a bigger base that is right down here with a bunch of cool A-frames. These gazebos, I mean, they are very nice. It's very simple to build, but they just look really nice. And if you just, you know, want to relax from a hard day arcing, these are amazing. Oh, I was going to say I'm not allowed to sit, but I am. Yeah, you can just enjoy the views. And especially living here with all these little waterfalls, which are amazing to look at, the water sounds, and then this is a pretty nice base indeed. We got the A-frame designs going on here, and then a whole base around it as well. So yeah, a lot of builds around the waterfall with a viewing platform, so you can still see the waterfall going on down there. Yeah, just a really, really great base. Always love this place. Yeah, Ellie did amazing here. I love the way she integrated all these things together and connected it all up, because that usually, you know, it's not as easy as you think. And yeah, that worked out great for this place. And then we've got another big base of one of the proper first mega tribes here on our server, all working together, all having their own home here, and then also rebuilding into those ruins down there as well, turning into a pretty cool funky base. We got the rebuild going on down here, which is a really nice spot in and by itself. But then we also got the whole town on stilts right here with a lot of these different buildings, each their own little platform, little home, which is quite a cool idea, to be honest. You can definitely see all the personalities coming forward as well, with all these different designs, different colors for all of these. And I mean, yeah, that's definitely still a busy place here. There's still plenty of tames and life around this space, that is for sure. Yeah, just a really cool base. I mean, to be honest, I was very excited when this started happening. It took me a long time before I visited, but it's just very nice to see all these people that didn't know each other and then just met on the server, starting to play together and form like a big ass tribe like this. And yeah, make like a build in unison, and then also moved on to the other maps to do pretty much the same thing, you know, live and work as a tribe, which is really cool to see. This over here was actually the first mega base on our community server. We got this big castle here out on the rocks. We got a big custom boat attached to the dock as well. Like there. And then, for some reason, he felt the need to extend even more into a bigger build behind it as well. So yeah. But this was really fun. I remember this build from like the early days, and then I was like, damn, there's some crazy people out there building some good shit. And then he just kept going. And this is also where we added the mods for the first time, and then he started decorating. Basically, this is like the showcase of the first deco mod that we had. Yeah, and it does look really cool. It is still, I mean, this feels like the roots. This is where it all started for the community cluster that I now have. And it's cool to see still. And then there's even a bigger build here on the other side. I've always told him I'm not a big fan of all this random foundation spam, but the buildings themselves are very cool. And yeah, this was also for many people some kind of hub, because you could always come here, get some help, get some gear, get some stuff, some dinos if you needed them. Which is, but yeah, that was always the best part anyway about the server from the get-go. People were very friendly and helpful for each other and, you know, helping each other out. But as you can see, some of these bases are now quite empty because we're wiping the island soon. But yeah, I wanted to show the builds off one last time for sure. All right, here we go with one of my builds. It is a A-frame, one of my many A-frame designs, and it was always meant as like a safe haven, starter place for people joining the world and, you know, being safe to log out or just to get going a little bit. So on the inside, there's some storage and crafting places for people that they could use when just arriving on the server, and also it's just a build, you know, to see something that I built right away when you're early on in the game. So yeah, it's pretty simple A-frame design. It's funny to see some of these older designs that I used to do. You can also see this was before the mods were added, because we added those a little bit later along the lifetime of the community server. But yeah, this was a fun start for sure. Now there is actually a couple of bases right around. There's one right here, which was quite hidden for a long time, hidden beneath these rocks. But then later joined with some other people, it turned out into a little bit of a bigger survival spot here with a bunch of tames, as you can see. And there was something being built a little bit further up there, but nothing really came of it. But there is a pretty decently big sized base over here on this side. And, well, I was going to say there's another base here, but it's apparently already gone. I guess people have already started to clean up for the upcoming wipe. So let's continue to the next base. Now, this place, this used to be a really cool base, but it's since been attacked by dinos and has fallen a little bit out of shape. But from some angles, like this, you can barely notice, and it still looks like a really cool base. I'm not going to show it too much, but yeah, it was a really cool place, believe me. It was really nice. But unfortunately, it's been knocked down a little bit by dinos. I think whoever built this is not really playing anymore, at least not on the island. And yeah, it's been attacked since a little bit. But it was really cool. And it is, you can still see the shape of the building. It is a really cool build. Okay, and then we've arrived to the hidden lake here in the north of the map. And as you can see, we have a lovely little hidden lake and a teleporter. And that's not because of nothing. That is because this is another one of my safe havens, where I built this little house here in the ruins, just as a little outpost for myself, because more and more people at this time are pretty much all living around here in the north. So it's just easier for me to log on and, you know, visit their bases, see what they're up to, and then, yeah, move on again. I never really did a lot with the base, except just check it out. Like log out here and check out people's things. But it's a cozy little design. We've got a teleporter here as well. He did some breeding here, though. It was quite a nice, interesting ruin to kind of place my house in, because we have some of these remnants being used in the design. And then this little courtyard, I guess, created by these archers as well, which was always, yeah, a fun little base to use for sure. And if you've watched a couple videos on this channel, you should know you can never really go wrong with a good ruin build with me. And that is why I was quite happy to see a ruin build when the server started. Namely, right here. It's not been used in a while, so it might have started to get a little bit of damage here and there. But that means I can actually walk through it. So yeah, it's a nice ruin base. Building this one first to close up the first gate. And then as you can see, all the entrances are nicely secured here. Which just means that you have a great little spot to call home. And then, of course, up here as well, we got a building, but it seems like it's been getting a little bit damaged, slowly decaying. So I guess the rebuilt ruins are falling into ruin once more. The cycle repeats itself a little bit there, I guess. And then another really nice build right here is this helipad design. Just for the sheer fact that it is so nice to be able to fly around the world and then all of a sudden spot this big platform that you know, this is where I can safely get some stamina back. And yeah, this is exactly what this is. A nice helipad where you can get your stamina back. And it is also just part of a base, because the base is right underneath there as well. But it was a really nicely placed thing, because a lot of people live around this area, so would be passing by on the way to the redwoods, for example. So then it's great to have a guaranteed safe pit stop along this river, which is usually what I would follow anyway. Yeah, just to catch your breath a little bit. And then we got a little outpost here as well. This was one part of one of the build competitions that we did early on in the game as well, which yeah, another little nice modern house here on top of this waterfall, looking very nice. Then we got another lovely little spot right here along this lake, which is also where I have one of my builds hidden there. But I got a little neighbor right here with a lovely little dock, a small cozy cabin, and just at a beautiful place, honestly. Like, this was a really nice place to live at for a while. And I loved having a neighbor like this, and it felt like a simpler time. You don't always need a very big base to be successful, and this shows it. I really love this. The look of all of this, the little house, the extra little details, the little dock into the river, friendly neighborhood Spino as well. You know, it's all just a very nice combination, and yeah, I really like just the simplicity of this, almost just the peacefulness of a build like this. And then, of course, here I have another one of my builds. This was like the little Smuggler's Den build that I did with some more mods. Which finally gave me a chance to use some different structures that I normally don't get to use, because I always build more with the vanilla structures, and then a lot of the decoration pieces from the mods as well. I finally had a chance to get my hands on all that, and yeah, built this little chaotic place, which has to be like a smuggler's den. We have the teleporter here. We've got a way up and out right here. This is supposed to be like a mast from a ship. Yeah, this was just a really fun design to make, and we got some few houses here around as well, and just poking out in and out of these caves, basically, to have this little hidden spot here. And then some more walkways going on to the end, but pretty much more of the same. And then it was actually really fun that after a while I built all this down here, but my neighbor decided to join into the fun a little bit, and he built a few of those extra houses up here just to expand the little village even more. This is also part of that build competition of the little outpost. But yeah, really nice addition to this. We got another little outpost right here. Beautiful spot as well, right here on a cliff, a big gate wall. I'm not the biggest fan of those, as you know, but I understand why they are needed. And then overlooking a little bit of the swampy area here, but it's a pretty good spot because it's a pretty flat spot where you can build. I love the tree that he kept around as well. Like, that's always nice to keep, of course. Nice details. And then he's got a nice little round build here. Not sure if we can enter it, but it might already also be empty. Oh, the door is open, so we can see. Yeah, this is a lovely, nice base as well. Like, I love bases that are different shapes, like these rounder shapes, and then with a layer like this, it's always a nice addition because it instantly just makes a build more interesting. And you still have plenty of space on the inside, as you can see, plenty of room. So yeah, it's just a nice way to create a more interesting looking base, just by changing the shape. And then we got a lovely little greenhouse here as well. Always nice to see. And if you've been around on the channel for a little bit longer and you've seen some of my island builds, you might recognize these builds, but you would be wrong. These are not mine. Grape actually replicated some of my builds, or at least heavily inspired, because I think he did do some things a little bit differently, but they do look very similar, and it's quite cool to see them here as well. I mean, building here up on the ruins is a great base spot anyway. And of course, after the wipe, when my map gets added, people will be able to visit all of my builds, including this whole place and all of these ruins. Looks like we do have a visitor though, that I hope won't be there when my builds are here. Because, yeah, that will be devastating. But yeah, this is always a good spot, and it's really fun to see these builds here and see someone else pretty accurately replicate them as well, since there were no tutorials for these, so that's quite impressive. And there we go, another lovely base here on the edge of this mountain at a little lake, little cabin at the lake, perfectly placed there, very nice and cozy. And I love the way this has been painted as well. This was before you could actually paint wood white as well, so this was a great solution to making it look the way and, you know, get that right aesthetic. And I'm pretty sure there used to be a wall here, not sure why it's not there anymore, but yeah, lovely decorated as well. Yeah, just a really nice little build here on the mountainside. Great base, greatly decorated, very cozy. Oh, I'm inside of the couch apparently. I'm not even that big. Why don't I show up on top? But yeah, lovely little spot. Not the most safe place, because there's definitely some stuff that spawns around here, but it is a very nice looking spot, so definitely a good view from here. There we go. I'm slowly but surely dropping into our next build here, which is another ruin rebuild, which is of course always a good thing in my opinion. And this was also part of that build competition of building safe havens, outposts on the map. And yeah, this is definitely a little bit of a bigger one compared to the other ones, but yeah, it looks nice. It's a nice ruin that has been rebuilt, brought back to life, which is always cool to see. So we got that church area over here, then these two buildings as well, all nicely tying together, painted up to look like a lovely little place. I kind of like this place specifically because this is also the first real base that I've ever built in ARK was at this same spot, so it's always fun to see what other people do with the same spot, you know, just to see what different people do with the same area to work with. So yeah, you can see it's a pretty extensive area that you can look around, and these are just some very cool ruins to begin with. And yeah, turning them into builds is just, I really love the ruins on the island, by the way. I think they're still the best ruins that we've had. Scorch was okay. Center, they are nice for big bases, but you don't have to do a lot of building there. At least here on the island, you had like all the opportunity of building proper building out of it and have a little bit more of your creative influence on the overall design of the build. So yeah, I really hope we get more of these ruins in future maps as well. We're going into the snow. It's a little bit foggy instantly, of course, but we have a nice little cabin out here as well, which reminds me a lot of what I did as well. It is a pretty fun thing to do. Not necessarily the best base to actually use, of course, because it's not very safe. I'm not going to go too close so that don't start attacking it, but this is always a cozy feeling. But yeah, definitely here on the island, at least, the snow area is just so foggy that it's not the best place to live in because, well, it's just hard to see. And I know you can get rid of it by commands, but I prefer really not to have to do that every time that I want to play. But yeah, this is a really fun, cozy little cabin. I'm just going to speed away from them now. And we got another base here in the snow, right along the river waterfalls here. And a pretty big spot here on top of the cliff. We got a aviary of some sorts up here, I think, because I see a lot of wings fluttering in there. Definitely also a trap up there. And then a big building in the middle. And then something in progress, but yeah, there's definitely a bunch of birds up there. Definitely are. Not sure what that's all about, but it sounds like a party up there. And then this, I don't know if it, yeah, this is the greenhouse, but I really love that design for it. That's a proper greenhouse. That's not just like a little afterthought. Oh, I need a greenhouse, a small little greenhouse next to my build. No, this is like the main deal because, well, it looks like it's got the most design in it of all. Like, it looks really good. I really like this little porch in front, little plants, and then of course the worst thing about building in the snow is that the floors inside also still have snow on them. If they fix that one day, I will be very happy. I do know that at least if you're building with vanilla structures, there's now custom cosmetics that lets you clean the floors inside, so you can make them snowy outside and then clean inside, which will be really nice to see. But yeah, this is a cool outpost, and I love when people actually do pick the snow and are brave enough to live there, because I mean, it's not the most convenient place, of course, with the temperatures, the creatures that usually are there, and then here on the island as well, just the fog that makes everything a little bit more difficult to see in the first place. Okay, the next place here is what we wanted to make into the shopping district, basically where everyone could come together. We were allianced, and then everyone could build their own little building and shop, and basically have the trade happening at a central place pretty close to the middle of the map, which on paper was a great idea, but we didn't have too many players at that point, so never really turned out into much. But yeah, we got a little funky design over there, which is something that I tried to do, working with all these modded pieces that I never really used before. We got a little small outpost, which was, well, how it started, kind of. And then we got a big-ass shop over here. Surprise, surprise, with plenty of stuff around and pretty cool stuff. And a pretty cool shop interior as well. Yeah, it was a real shame that it really didn't take off when we tried this. But now we do have some shops up and running on the center, at least. Quite successful, just at people's bases. Because I mean, it's a little bit more convenient instead of having like one place. But the idea still is really cool to just build together. But of course, as soon as you get too big and people can't all be in one alliance, it's going to be tricky to build like a big place for everyone to have their own shop. But yeah, this was a cool idea, and at least we got a few cool builds out of it. And we got another big base coming up right here, slowly loading in. Another great spot, this little bay on the side of the island, of course. And, well, there is definitely a bunch of nice little walkways out here. Again, I feel like this base has never been properly used, because by the time it was finished, we kind of moved on to Scorched. So, because this has a lot of potential. There's a lot of room. This would have been a great ocean base to, you know, breed ocean tames in, etc, etc. It's got a cool castle build here, or like proper keep build here as well, with a nice interior base, which seems to have some visitors stuck in it as well. But yeah, I mean, this has a lot of potential. I guess it's just the timing of things, you know. Of course, when a new map drops, people want to play that, but it's a cool base nonetheless. Like, this is definitely a cool, sizable base that you could use for a lot of ocean breeding. And then right next to it, at the waterfalls, we got another little base, which looks really nice. Just a nice little house here in the forest. Always a good spot next to a waterfall. Got the stables over there, and then the main house right over here as well. Looking very nice and cozy. And then over here, we got a Viking outpost, which is really cool look. I really love these buildings. The style is just cool, with the decoration even cooler. The grass is loading in now. Yeah, it's just a really cool style to work with. And unfortunately, this is all that was ever built. because they had to leave the server for personal reasons, and they never really returned to finish it. But yeah, the Viking style is always a cool style to build in. It's still a style that I would like to build in a little bit more, because I feel like I haven't really properly done that before. So maybe on one of the futures maps I might give that another go, because I mean, it's just really fun build style to work with, that is for sure. Got another nice little outpost here on the beach. Always a good place to live. And yeah, this is just a nice tiny little outpost here with some power coming in, and then a nice little cozy house. I don't think I can go inside unless there's been a door left open. There has. Ooh, people are treating me. There we go. Nice little cozy house design. Ooh, this is a great view to have whilst crafting, that is for sure. That is always a nice design. Yeah, it's not big, but it's got everything you need, really. And it just has a nice cozy feeling and a great view of the ocean. So yeah, both for the ocean stuff and for the rest of the stuff. Pretty nice, fun spot to live at. And then we got another little outpost over here with some nice docks. A very familiar design here for the train station / warehouse. At least that's what I designed it for, but it's cool to see. There's a few of my builds here and there, but not often that you see them, surprisingly. But it's always good to see them and people using them for proper bases. And yeah, this is definitely a very cool build in progress. I guess we'll never really see what it turns into, but it has a lot of potential. I would love to see some more builds like this popping up on any of our maps in the future, because yeah, this is a big base. I mean, that's always fun to see, but it looks pretty nice as well. Then there's another little outpost that was being built here. But again, I don't think this was ever properly finished. But it does look like the beginning of a really cool and proper tower design for sure. And then we've got another nice base over here as well. Let's just slowly land down here. I think this was more of the dino pen area. Or maybe not. Or maybe above. I don't know. I can't enter this, I think. Oh, I can. Yeah, I think this was like the dino pen. And then we got the lovely little gardens here. This is a lot of great work with all the mods that we have, making like cool decorations for sure. I really need to get better at that, or just spend more time doing it, because I never really give it a proper chance. But I mean, this looks amazing. We got like proper kitchens, living rooms, everything. Yeah, look at this. This looks amazing to be in and live at. This is a lovely home. Not even a little home. This is just a proper home with everything that you can need, and just very well decorated as well. Like, love the light, the windows, and yeah, just the amount of detail in this build is pretty incredible. Which is the main thing that I really love about this server. Seeing all the builds is one, and then seeing the incredible amount of detail that some people put into their builds, that's just amazing to see. And then we got a little back garden here as well. But then for the builds challenge that we were talking about, there's a lovely little beach bar edition right here on the outside as well. It looks pretty good too. Got a lovely little bar area down here. Again, an insane amount of details everywhere, which is amazing to see. And yeah, this was I think this was the first build competition that we did on the cluster, and it has definitely been a success ever since. And now we got more and more crazy builds every time I do one of these. So yeah, it's definitely a fun habit to do. And then we've got another build right over here. Again, maybe you recognize this. This is actually one of my treehouse designs, but then built just on the ground, which definitely works quite well, in fact. Gives you a lot more space when there isn't a big tree in the middle. So yeah, fun to see. And I think with that, we've pretty much come to an end here on the big island tour. Now, again, if you want to join our cluster, the information that you need will be down in the description below. Join the Discord, and all the info will be on there on how to play. So this is the end of this island, pretty much. We're going to wipe the island and replace it with the map of all my original island builds. So you can visit those, use those as save havens, and of course, people will be free to build on the island once more, just being a little bit more clean and yeah, a fresh start for all of us. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.